Is there any nudity in this particular show?
No.
Okay.
Not intentionally.
And the audience can be very thankful for that.
Michael Caine played your role in the screen version.
Yes, he did.
Yes. Did you see the screen version?
I have. Yep.
Have you modelled your character on the Michael Caine portrayal?
No, look, Michael Caine does Michael Caine really well. Damien Lee
He's had a bit
doesn't.
of practice at it.
Yeah, Damien Lee does not do Michael Caine very well. Look, it's one of those shows that right from the outset, and Tony can even, ascertain to this, that we really wanted to make it believable. And we couldn't make it believable if he was trying to be Christopher Reeve and I was trying to be Michael Caine. We had to develop these characters from grassroots. We had to find ourselves in them. We had to find the way we wanted to play them. And then we had to make sure that everything we did on stage is really believable. Because in a thriller like this, which is so intense and so shocking and has so many twists and turns, if you don't do it believably, it can become farcical.
That's right.
And so we've really, really worked hard to make it believable.
There's nothing worse than a thriller where the audience is guffawing.
No, that's right.
It sort of takes the edge off a little, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And look, there's so many things that happen in the show, and we don't want to give away too much because it's like giving away the last page of a mystery novel, but I can really tell people that when they come along here, their jaws are going to be hitting the floor a number of times during the night. Because it is that so many shocks and twists, isn't it?
Glad you said that because we give the initial plot and you think, oh yeah, but there's so much more that we literally just cannot tell you because you have to come and see it to see it for real.
Tony, is there from your point of view, is there a lot of dialogue?
Yes, it is a very heavily text-based piece, so there was a lot of memorisation in dialogue to be done, and but that was no hassle for us. I mean, because we workshopped our characters so well in rehearsal that it all sort of came organically. But I would say that in all our roles, particularly Damien and myself, we have to be thinking, I think, about 3 paces ahead of where we are in terms of what we're doing. So it's a good acting challenge.
How do you commit lines to memory?
How do I commit lines to memory?
Because different actors have different ways.
I tell you how I do it, and I do it really well, Ian, is
you write things on your palm of your hand?
Not quite, no. Well, no. Damien can talk to you about that. And I don't mean to sound silly, but I embody the text. So if I'm up walking around and I add movement to what I'm saying, I tell you, it just clicks like glue so much easier. And here I am, this is what I'm doing, this is what the scene's about, this is what I mean when I say that. If we've really done our homework before we've got up on the floor and just read through the script, it gels so much easier that you can just throw the script away and it's there because you know what you're doing.
Yeah, once you know it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some actors who will use the props on the stage as a reminder for what the dialogue happens to be.
Yeah, like they embody it that way, I mean. And don't be afraid of the dialogue, I think. If there's what is it? It's a 50-page text and you're on every page or script. Don't be afraid of it. Just, work around it.
And there's lots of action in this show too. Where people are trying to hide things or, trying to get a look at particular bits of script and all of this sort of thing in the show. Because basically, his script is, in my opinion, as Sydney Brewer, a blockbuster hit. And it's something that I've been trying to write for ages and haven't been able to. And so I invite him to come to my home and bring the script and all the carbon copies and the original. And he does. And then my wife starts getting a little panicky because, I write murders for a living. She's just starting to wonder. And that's one of the questions, Would you? Could you?
When does this open?
This actually opens, we preview Friday and Saturday night.
This coming Friday and Saturday
night. And then we actually open officially next Wednesday, and then it will play up until the 15th of August. But, folks, it's going to be one of those shows that as soon as people... And look, if you do come and see the show, don't give away the ending.
No, don't do that. Just, keep it to yourself. Just enjoy it,
But, go and tell people that it was a fantastic show and that they should see it, but just don't tell them what happens in the show.
I wonder if you could ever do this with the playwright's permission, of course. When you have a thriller like this, that has obviously some surprise at the end, if you could have half a dozen different endings and do different endings each night. That would really confuse people, wouldn't it?
It would be if most of the cast was still alive at the time. And that's all I'm saying.
I see.
But it's sort of like the Mousetrap, which has had huge success over in London. I mean, what is it up to? About 40 or 50 years it's been going now. And that's one of the things that they say, look, whatever you do, if you've enjoyed the show, and even if you haven't, don't tell anybody else the ending, because there's nothing worse than a thriller on stage and everyone comes in and says, I don't need to see that. I know what happens.
You going to do a few lines from this or not?
No, we can if you like. You got to test our memory now, because we weren't prepared for that, really.
I noticed you didn't bring any scripts with you. That's why I thought I'd ask.
No, Clifford's just sort of thinking now exactly what lines we can do from the show. So we can actually have a think about it.
Remember what I said about embodying the text? I need it all here with me now.
We can actually probably just do... see, there's a lot of lines, but maybe towards the end of the play.
You should see the looks of these two giving each other.
And in fact, we'll just do the start of Act 2, because what's happened so far is that he's actually now working from my house, and where he's writing his own novel, or what I think is his own novel, and we're sitting there. I can't get anything down on paper, just like normal. So I'm sitting there and I'm going...
He's bashing the keys away.
Bashing the keys.
So you know where he is, do you?
Mm-hmm. I know where he is now.
And I say, that must have been an interesting welfare office.
It was. Everyone had a poignant story. They're writing a play of their own accord.
No notes, no outlines.
This isn't a thriller, Sydney. It's not dependent on intricate settings and contrived theatrics. These are real people. All I'm doing is allowing them to spill out their dreams and frustrations, their anger at bureaucracy.
Joe Pat will have a messenger at the door any second now.
Well, I was thinking of using him as a possible producer. Do you know him?
Slightly. Let me see a few pages.
Sure, if you'd like to. But I'd really rather wait to give you the whole thing once it's done, give it to you all in one glorious bundle.
Of course. What's another hour or so?
It's going to take 3 or 4 weeks, I think.
At the rate you're going, it's going to be a trilogy by then.
Nothing doing?
I'm thinking.
Why don't you invite her over? Helga ten Dorp. Talking with her might spark something.
Do you think we should risk having her on the premises?
Maybe not when the moon is full. Did you see the egg she laid the other night on the Letterman show?
Yes, when the amazing Kreskin decided to describe all of her husbands in such detail. And there you go.
That's very good. Because that was genuinely thrown at them.
Genuinely off the cuff, that one.
They weren't expecting to do. That's good. The way you can just jump into character is terrific.
Well, it's sort of like that, isn't it? Because, you get to a point where you've, sort of put it into your head and you can recall things, Other text parts in the show, though, really have to have that flow because, you've got to get into the rhythm of it.
We should also mention that Clifford is American and Sydney's British.
That's right.
In case that didn't resonate through the sound waves.
Okay, this opens officially. You're previewing on. Did you say Friday?
Friday this week.
Okay, and opens officially
next Wednesday
at the StageDoor, and strictly limited season.
That's it.
32161115 is the number that you can call to book, and you should book because I think this is going to be very, very popular.
As you say, you'll die to get your tickets.
Lynn Wright's directing, is she?
Yes, she is.
Yes,
and she's a very well respected
and
director.
a hard taskmaster.
And a hard taskmaster.
Hard task mistress.
That's right.
So
yes.
Well, Tony, thank you so much for coming in, Tony Campbell.
Thank you, sir.
And
Thank you for having me.
have a lot of fun doing the show.
I will.
And thank you for coming. Oh no, you stay here.
Oh, thank you, sir.
It's 8:23. We're back in a minute.